An assassin working for a clandestine organization, he or she is one of the best they have ever had, but the same organization finds some reason to want to kill that assassin. So the hunter becomes the hunted, the hunt goes on, and in this mess, the mentor of the assassin gets killed somewhere just before the climactic showdown between the big bad guy at the top of the organization. Doesn't this seem like one of those oft-repeated movie cliches? Off the top of my head, a couple of recent examples would be Polar starring Mads Mikkelsen and Red starring Bruce Willis. Even Looper and John Wick have this same premise in their stories. So this new movie AVA, how fresh or original could it be? Hello, namaskar, welcome, swagatam. The movie AVA, directed by Tate Taylor, was theatrically released in some areas earlier this year, but ultimately made its way to Netflix yesterday. With a star cast of Jessica Chastain, Colin Farrell and John Malkovich, this movie is expected to be good, but let me tell you in the very beginning, it is not. Jessica Chastain plays the titular femme fatale who's the best at what she does, and she is a contract killer for an organization named The Company. She has a complicated personality and a history of drug and alcohol addiction. For some reason, the top guy in this organization, Colin Farrell's Simon, wants to kill her and goes through an elaborate scheme to get her killed inconspicuously during a job gone wrong. When that doesn't work, he sends a goon after her.
I want her killed. Tell him tooth or finger, I don't care which.
And when that doesn't work, he goes after her himself. And that is the gist of this story. For the movie, which is supposed to be an action thriller, there is too much of other things in this movie. Like Ava's past, which we know must have been something really traumatic to somehow justify her drug addiction. But her present is no different at all. In simple terms, she is an emotional mess. To make things more weird, they throw in the ex-fiancé in the mix, who, as it turns out, is a, spoiler alert, gambling addict.
I asked you to marry me, and then you just disappeared for 8 years.
With so much emotional baggage, the awkward family interactions, and a complete lack of inner strength on the part of the protagonist, we as viewers fail to empathize with Ava. John Malkovich's character, Duke, on the other hand, is there just for the show. I mean, Malkovich is an amazing actor, but with the character that he was given in this movie, there was nothing to be done at all. His appearance in this movie just boiled down to a few well-articulated dialogues and one piece of action. The one between him and Colin Farrell's Simon.
You need to rescind the kill order.
You know I can't do that. This is business.
In the moments before that fighting ensued, the build-up was exciting. I was gearing up to see the old veteran Duke beat the living shit out of his protege Simon, and the fight did deliver on the premise, up to a certain extent. But later, the fight became just one-dimensional, one-sided and boring. You know, in many movies, there is a part where a character goes into a mission or a fight knowing that it is going to be his last rodeo. That makes the death impactful. In this case, it felt like the character went there just to die, with no plan whatsoever. Anyway, talking about Simon, Colin Farrell's character's motivation towards trying to kill Ava is so vague and inadequately explained that it is painful to watch him obsess with killing her.
I know you like Ava, but she's a liability.
No, not her. She's best of breed. I recruited her, I trained her.
She's talking to the targets!
What is also painful to watch is Ava's interaction with her family. Yes, the family has its moments, the tragic past and all that, but really I didn't care for them and neither would you. The subplot with Ava's ex and her sister failed to add any more layers of depth in Ava's character, and her past experience, although traumatic, failed to have an impact because of the execution. then all that remains is the action. From the trailers, the actions appeared good. And for the most part, the action sequences in this movie are good. But that is the problem. Where characters are weak and stale, average action isn't going to make the movie work at all. What I felt watching the action sequences was that the action, choreography and stuntmen did their best to give us a gritty, realistic and fresh action comparable to something like Atomic Blonde or Extraction. But the execution and editing was somehow not up to the mark. And the experience of the final product on screen was just another run-of-the-mill action. Still, the worst part of the movie, I'd say, is the writing. AVA's introduction as an army recruit, showing great promise, great skill and ultimately becoming an elite assassin, directly contradicts with her chronic drug and alcohol abuse. As we learn more about Ava's past, some of the parts of her story seem flimsy. It could have been written and executed better. And then there is the ending. It is always a thrill to watch two evenly matched people duel it out in a bloody fist fight, which demonstrate how equal they are. The climax of the movie has one such sequence. And that sequence ends with one of the weirdest kills I have had to endure on screen in a long time. I won't spoil the ending for you. Maybe you would want to watch this movie when you have nothing else to do. Suffice it to say, when a match has ended in a draw, you don't run away, frightened of failure in a rematch. All in all, this movie is an absolute waste of time and I am glad I didn't have to go to a theater to watch it. I will give AVA 4 thumbs ups out of 10. What do you think? Did you already watch the movie enticed by Jessica Chastain's look in red?
You did something bad. I wouldn't have sent me if you had.
If not, please don't. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, I'm eagerly looking forward to your comments and feedback. If you liked this review, please do leave a thumbs up and share this video with all your friends. This is all from my side for today. I'll be back with another review or a different video on any other topic. Till then, to stay tuned with me, do subscribe to my channel, The Versatile Doctor. You have been with Dr. Abhinav Atul and it is my pride and privilege to be able to connect with you through this video. Namaskar.